Café Anyway.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Welcome to Mike's Daily Podcast, episode 2628, 2628.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
And today is the cat that I have his birthday. He's 1 year old. And he is going, yay. I can't wait to scratch Mike with my big sharp claws. Like, that's so awesome. No, actually he hasn't done that in a while, so thank you.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Thank you, Rocky the cat, named after The Rock, because The Rock is from Hayward.
Mike's
That's what I heard.
Daily
And so is this cat,
Podcast.
originally.
Yeah!
And you know what else is interesting about him is that he survived. He was like the only one in his litter to survive. So he has the eye of the tiger. So he's like that song from that Rocky movie. Also, he looks a little like a squirrel. So he's like Rocky the squirrel. There's all kinds of reasons why Rocky. His original name was Corey. And if you flip the letters around, you kind of get the word Rocky. But I'm talking to you today on a very important day. I don't know when you're listening to this, so it could be way off in the future. But today is National Onion Rings Day. I guess onion rings are cool. I mean, you eat them, and sometimes you get that really hot string of onion in there, and it burns you. That's happened. Or you get like some really cold onion rings that taste disgusting. Or you get onion rings and like there's no onion in them. And then there's Funyuns. Duh. What is that about? Funyuns. It's also World Rainforest Day. I don't think I've ever been to a rainforest, but we got to keep them around in case we want to go to a rainforest. And it's National Kissing Day. Please kiss someone today. If it's someone that you know and who would be okay with that.
And here's today's podcast picture.
And National Chocolate Eclair Day, because every day has got to have some kind of pastry associated with it. Hey, the podcast picture is of the birthday boy, Rocky the cat. See it at mikesdailypodcast.com and all my past podcast pictures. The last one that was called Daylight, because we did it on Summer Solstice Day yesterday, had that really nice sunset. You should see it. It's just glowing. So wonderful. I always post podcast pictures on my website, mikesdailypodcast.com, because every podcast is a great way to showcase a picture as well as to showcase some audio, because that's what this is an audio podcast. And the late great Basil the Boxer is saying, Mike, don't explain all this again. You're going to drive me nuts. Can I chase after that cat? The spirit of Basil lives on. Yes. People don't understand. You say podcast and they go, what? Is that some kind of newfangled? Is that a thing on TikTok? Is that like those videos on TikTok? Is it a talkcast? Is it a what? No. Oh, and then that reminds me. So I made the fatal mistake over 10 years ago to change my name, my handle on Twitter when they were saying, hey, grab whatever handle you want starting now. And I grabbed Mike Talks. But hopefully people know how to spell talks, Talks, and aren't thinking of TikTok. That's spelled, of course, that's the TOK, for those of you who needed that spelled out for you, which I heard the CEO stepped down after 5 years today. This cat is really purring away. I also spoke today to a fellow podcaster. He's got a gazillion listeners. A very helpful podcast that has to do with communicating in the business world, and things that, like, don't say the word I can't when you mean something like you really don't. Say the word, use the word don't more often in your vocabulary, is what he was saying. Hey, you want to go drinking? Oh, I don't drink alcohol. I don't know if that's an example. Versus, I can't drink alcohol. Well, why can't you? Because the word, that's what she was saying. his guest was saying, if you say can't, it begs the question why. You get the question why a lot, whereas don't is a statement. It's a firm no. And no is a complete sentence. She didn't say that, but a friend of mine said that once. I thought that was really good. No is a complete sentence. And this is a person who's a people pleaser who tends to say yes when she doesn't want to say yes. So she said, nope, I've learned to say no. No is a complete sentence. Okay. I wanted to share some other interesting pieces of information here at Café Anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valley, the last place on earth, all these wonderful people hanging out on this glorious day. So earlier this month, as we are nearing the end of June, Uber announced they want to rent out your car. They are set to launch Uber Car Share. Now, that is apparently only happening in Boston and Toronto. But would you rent out your car? I guess there's already that going on. Oh, I can't think of the name of the company, but my lovely lady friend has used them before. We've actually done it quite a few times. Different. It's weird, though. You got to be careful, because if you get into a car accident, you're completely on the hook. You've got to be careful, because if you want to complain and say that, oh, no, I signed this first, it goes into you're basically Tourig, I think is one of them. You are just communicating with an app, with a chat bot, and you can't get anywhere. They bug you, and you're not dealing with real people, except for the people that rented out their car for you in the first place. So drivers will be able to pick up and return the vehicles using the Uber app. So they're basically just doing the same thing that a lot of these tech companies do, is they see what else everybody else is doing and they try and absorb it like the Borg and make it their own. Then there is this happened a month ago. I don't know if this is still the case. As we go outside a Cafe Anyway, where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley, the last place on earth.
Anyway,
their vessel buildup grows at West Coast ports as maritime supply chain begins to break, echoing the COVID chaos. Remember when we had that? The West Coast ports getting all full, and the supply chain, everything was getting backed up. Stuff wasn't getting where it was supposed to. Supposedly that is happening again. But then stuff started moving along. We were discussing last time about how people just aren't buying stuff at locations anymore. That they're actually, they're ordering it online, but people are spending more money on things like restaurants and experiences, which they couldn't do during COVID. And in this other thing that happened during COVID, we work from home.
The Fascinating Material Project.
FM Project.
Well, Google is cracking down on office attendance, and they have asked remote workers to reconsider. They plan including trafficking office badge attendance, confronting workers who aren't coming in when they're supposed to, and including the attendance in employees' performance reviews. Here's the thing about Google. It is such a beautiful place to work. Oh my gosh. I got to go to one of the campuses about 2 months ago. Oh, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I've heard stories, but this is unbelievable. There are little kitchenettes everywhere that have all the food you want. Then there's these really nice kitchens. It's like you walk into a food court at a mall, but it's all free. And there's all this amazing food and beautiful areas to sit in to eat it. And then if you don't feel like working in your office, you can move over to this nice little cubicle that's all private. You can shut the door, got nice recliners. Or if you don't feel like doing that, you can play video games. And they got these little themed rooms, like there's like a 70s room that had the paneling from the 70s and the 60s and all these video games. Why would you not want to go back to work? Oh, the commute. I hate the commute. Yeah, I can see that. today on my way home. On my way home. That is a song by Squeeze, a little known song, by the way, that came off an album that they did back in the 90s called Play. And it's really funny because the front of the album had them, like, they were all hiding in this big, I don't know, it was like a flower pot. They were hiding in this thing and poking their heads up. And the name was of the album was called Play. And you opened it up, the CD, and the little booklet was a play. It had have you ever read a play? And the characters, the way they write a play, and you're reading a script, there's the character's name, a colon, and then what they're saying. Then the next person, what they're saying, etc. I'm assuming everybody who's listening to this podcast has been in a play at some point, or read a play, or read Shakespeare.
The front panel will close automatically. Please remain seated.
They had this great album called Play. It was a more mellow Squeeze album. They do a lot of dancey, fun stuff, but this was more serious. And they had a song called On My Way Home. And I should play a little bit of it here, but I'm not going to because I can't find the... I am sitting next to the CD section, the Mike Matthews CDs, and it is alphabetized A through M, and then it stops. I ran out of time alphabetizing. It was taking so long. So I left off on doing this project about 7 years ago. So at some point I should get back to it. But I got everything A through M alphabetized. I see Dwight Yoakam over there, Dixie Chicks, David Gray. I see Bruce Hornsby, Britney Spears. Yes, I have a Britney Spears album. The Bodines, Bare Naked Ladies, in the B section. Bryan Adams, because I don't like to alphabetize by last names. Big Audio Dynamite. Ben Folds 5. By the way, Ben Folds has a new album now.
You will travel into the incredible universe.
So my point is, go back to work, Google people. Dang, you work in such beautiful environs. But I'm driving home today on my way home, and a guy is driving a Lexus. No, he's driving a Prius, one of those things that end in us. And he's going super fast. He's right behind me, and I'm on a 2-lane road. So I'm on the side going one direction, and he's coming up right behind me super fast. So I was going to make a left turn, but he's freaking me out. So I start going forward, and apparently he had slammed on his brakes because he didn't see me till the last second. So I go forward. I see he's slowed down, and then I make a left turn at the next street. He makes a left turn going down the next street after me, and he meets up with me.
Magnification.
And he's like, well, I see him for a split second. I'm going straight. He comes up next to me, and I start hearing him going, hey, blah, blah, blah. And I just took off through the intersection, and he couldn't follow after me because there was a car there. And it's 5 o'clock, and there's cars everywhere. The Bay Area, there are cars everywhere at 5 o'clock. Cars on top of cars. It's a city. It's a busy area. But even in the East Bay, we're technically not a city. There are cars on top of cars on top of cars. Because there's all these people either going to Oakland or San Francisco.
Magnification.
Or San Jose. I heard Rocky the cat meowing. I'm outside a Café Anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valley, the last place on earth I'm recording. You're going to be on the show with Mike Matthews? Oh, let me move some stuff around then. Do you want to, here, you need to talk into that in order to be heard. Or if you want to hold it. I don't know, you've just walked thousands of miles, so. But
for life in general, to be heard.
There you go. Just don't bump it a lot like I'm doing right now.
Does Rocky want to be heard too? He looks like he has something to say.
What did you get him for his birthday?
Well, so remember there were all kinds of these cool little birthday treats, snacks birthday cupcakes and cookies for dogs. Well, I thought maybe they have something for cats. But there was nothing, love.
Nothing.
Cats get no love.
They get no love. What is
Hear that,
about?
Rocky? The disrespect.
Oh, shoot.
So I instead got him some.
So cats don't eat cupcakes? Is that
This
what you're
one
saying?
does, and Patches does. But
Patches, our feral cat.
yeah. So this is what we got here.
Oh, look at this.
What do you think, Rocky?
Look at this podcast listener who's a listener who can't see. It looks like a fish.
It's chicken with rosemary.
Oh my gosh, that's for a cat. That's
Yep.
a treat for a cat.
Yep. So we'll stick a candle in that, and that's his birthday cake.
Oh, that is awesome. Good job, my lovely lady friend.
Thank you, my darling.
Well, look who else is outside a Café Anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valley, the last place on earth. Hi, Mark. It's Benita the Rodeo Queen. How y'all doing? Hi, lovely lady friend.
Hi, Benita.
I brought my horse Nelly.
Oh,
There's the horse.
I was waiting for some sound effect.
Well,
For like a horse sound.
you can't hear it now. They just heard it
Oh, yeah.
because I have to do it in
That's right.
post. Yes.
Oops. So you can delete this too.
Magnification.
I may not delete it. Whenever anybody tells me to delete something, I don't.
Oh.
Because it's my show. I'll do what I want. I'm Napoleon Dynamite. Look who else is here. Hey, Mark. It's a disgruntled fiddle player. Hello, lovely lady friend. Tell you what.
Hi, disgruntled fiddle player. How you what? How you doing?
That's crazy that you buy things like that for your cat because it's like people food. Like, I would eat that.
Yeah,
'Cause
I know, right?
That's really good.
They had frozen goat milk,
What?
which is basically yogurt for cats. I was tempted to get that for myself.
That sounds amazing.
It was flavored with pumpkin and
Wow.
cinnamon. Right? Goat milk with pumpkin and cinnamon. I mean, I'd try that.
That would be, dang, that's what they have for cats.
Maybe I'm just a cat, love.
You are. You're just a cat in a dog world. She's licking her paw and then putting it on her head because that's how they bathe themselves. It's weird how they bathe themselves. They wet a paw and then they kind of comb their hair.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Look what.
It's like conditioner.
Hello, Mike. I make delicious root beer. Have some right now. Oh, boy. Hi, lovely little friend.
Oh, hey, Brewmaster. Oh, that's perfect. I just came back from a long walk.
That's great. I like water and walking. Oh, boy.
Thank you.
Drink it right now. I cut you.
I don't want to get cut. Okay, give me a sec.
All right. Look at you fake drinking.
Oh, that's that's really good.
That was delicious. Thank you, Brewmaster.
Okay, bye.
Oh, there's like a hint of cinnamon in this.
Oh, cinnamon.
Brewmaster, am I right?
I like to put cinnamon in root beer, and sometimes I put it in peppermint.
Wow.
What? Peppermint.
Okay.
Hey, so I was listening to Ryan Seacrest because I just really don't know why, but he had on a story. I don't know who his coast host is. Oh, Rocky is chiming.
He's trapped.
Where is he trapped? Outside a cafe. He didn't fall into a manhole cover, did he?
I don't know.
Did he fall into a well? Billy. Apparently, this thing with Taylor Swift, people forgetting her concerts, it's a thing that they're bringing up to psychologists now.
Oh, yeah, I remember you telling me that.
So psychologists are hearing a lot of, "Oh, I'm going to see Taylor Swift." That's my impression of the typical Taylor Swift concert goer who pays all that money to go see Taylor Swift in concert. I'm getting ready to go see, and then they get all panicky. I don't know. How do I keep my blood pressure down? Because I'm so excited to see the Taylor Swift. And then they forget that people forget the show.
Yeah, you know what's
They
happening?
spend all that money. What?
It's the Illuminati.
That's right. How is okay?
They're doing a mind erase thing.
A mind erase. What are they using to mind erase?
A marker.
What's a marker?
It looks like an eraser.
And they They touch their heads with the eraser.
Yeah.
And they forget.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you see anybody in a cloak and you can't see their face and they have an eraser in their hand, run.
If you want to remember the concert.
If you want to remember the concert. Or maybe they just don't want to remember the concert because it was so awful.
There could be that.
Mean, really?
Right?
They want to shake it off. Ha ha ha.
That was a good one, love.
I'm trying to think of other songs because it's trouble. But all right. So you're on the podcast. This is exciting. We've been waiting for years for you to be on the podcast, and you're finally on. And all you did was just yawn. Yeah. So that was well worth the wait.
Love, I just walked 4 miles. I walked 4 miles in the heat.
You like the Proclaimers.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm parched.
Here, let me turn the volume down. I didn't know you'd be shouting all of a sudden. Hold on. Okay. All right.
I want to be heard.
Gosh. Wow. So, okay. Anything else you want to be heard about? All right. You pretty much...
Hatpins, love.
Hatpins.
Now I understand why they're a thing, or I don't know if they're a thing, but why they're used.
Hatpins.
That hat fell off my head so many times during my walk. I wanted to just throw it.
Yes, in California, we need to wear hats because of all the sun. We want to protect our skin. And you said the hat kept falling off your head.
This one time, I swear, I was about to cross that really busy part, that intersection of Castro Valley Boulevard and Redwood.
Uh-huh. That's treacherous there.
Yes, and that's exactly where it flew right into the middle of the intersection.
No!
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
So luckily, the light was in my favor, and I was able to pick it up.
Oh, wow.
But that was luck, and the wind didn't blow it any farther. So I was able to grab it.
So you've got this...
And somebody actually cheered.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fascinating.
It was just like it blew off my head, and then it was like rolling down the street. Yeah.
So how are we going to fix this? Because your hat doesn't have a little strap on it.
Yeah, and then I thought about putting a strap, but then I don't want a chin strap on me. It just annoys me.
Yeah, because it's getting the bottom of your chin. It moves back and forth.
Yeah.
It's the whole reason why we don't wear masks anymore.
Exactly.
Because it's annoying.
So hatpins, love.
Hatpins.
Now I understand.
So you're going to get... Oh, is that the thing they stabbed Olivia Colman with?
Yes.
The girl from 50 Shades of Grey, she stabbed Dakota Fanning. She stabbed...
Johnson.
Dakota Johnson. Dakota something. Is it Dakota or Cheyenne?
Dakota.
One of these states. Cheyenne's not a state. Wait.
It's a city, though.
Isn't it a nation? Anyway. Stabbed.
Yeah. She stabbed her.
Stabbed her.
In the gut.
And she died.
Yeah.
In that movie.
Yeah.
And it was a hatpin.
It's a hatpin, love.
So it can be a helpful thing and it can be a hurtful thing. It's if you like a little bit of aspirin's okay, but too much aspirin will kill you, right?
A remedy.
And a curse.
Also a
blessing. A piano.
Death sentence.
A Bedouin. That's an old joke nobody will get. Except there's one person on this planet that would get that joke. Oh, I have that on tape. It was one of my co-hosts when I was on K-Hey years ago. They kept saying Bedouin on the air.
Why?
It was like a joke. I don't know, because it's a bizarre word, Bedouin.
They're a tribe, aren't they?
Yeah.
Bedouin tribe?
That's right. Okay.
I think. A nomadic tribe.
That's right.
I think.
They go around. They don't stop. They just keep going.
Like I did today.
Yeah.
For 4 miles, and now I'm parched.
Well, lovely lady friend, enjoy the rest of that root beer the Brewmaster just poured for you.
It's delicious.
And thank you for stopping by. And we would promote your yoga workshop here, but it's not going to happen.
No, that's okay, love.
Okay. At some point,
Maybe.
Me podcast is Sue podcast.
You
can promote away your yoga workshops.
Oh, thank you, my love. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Well, next show, it'll be the wonderful Madame Rootabega, Valentino, and Bison Bentley. And if you'd like to call and, talk to lovely lady friend. Oh, what did I just do? Oh. I meant to scroll down. And when I did that, what do you call that little thing in the mouse that you do the little scroll thing? The scroll wheel. It's a scroll wheel.
Sure.
That thing. It always sounds to me like when I hear somebody with a scroll wheel and I don't see them, it sounds like those old-timey typewriters. They used to have that.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of. Do you hear it, sort of?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I hear it.
All right.
It's kind of a neat sound.
510-228-4640, 510-228-4640. And with more ways to reach me, here's that final announcer person at the end of every podcast that says, see you tomorrow. Bye. Thank you, lovely lady friend.
You're welcome, my love. Bye.
I'm gonna go too. I'm Benita the
Written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com.
Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com.
See you tomorrow. Bye.